Welcome to S Class, the highest tier in podcasting. Today I'm joined by the Fuhrer of Cuteness, Robert, and the Master of Tanks, Ryan. How are you guys doing today?
Uh,
Oh my god, I'm doing terribly.
I kind of wish I was the Fuhrer of cuteness, but I'll take Master of Tanks.
Rob has claimed that right, unfortunately, Ryan. If you can usurp him, you can take the
No,
throne.
it's very
It's not gonna
understandable.
happen.
Rob, as the Fuhrer of Cuteness and the expert on cute girls doing cute things, do you want to start us off and introduce this great series
No,
to us?
I really don't, Justin. I really, really don't. Because, like you said, I am the Fuhrer of cuteness. I've watched probably more cute girls doing cute things animes than anyone here. There's what? I've watched Yuru Camp, which is cute girls doing camping things. I've watched A Place Further Than Universe, which was cute girls doing cold things. I've watched
K-On!
Little Whip
K-On!
K-On, which is cute girls doing cord things. I've
Nothing is
watched.
What about that RE0 show? Didn't you guys watch that?
I didn't watch that.
That was not a cute girls doing cute things anime. That was a fucked up show.
What else is there? Oh, I watched Little Witch Academia, which was cute girls doing cult things.
Squid
I've
Girl.
watched Squid Girl, which was cute girls doing.
Squidward.
What was that? Cute girls doing crustacean things. What else? What else?
Sticking with the sea theme.
Plastic Nissan, which was cute girls doing crafting. Yuri on Ice, which was
Cute boys.
not. Yeah.
Cute
So-
boys doing cold things.
So look, I've done a lot of cute girls doing cute things anime, and
That's what makes you the Fuhrer.
Girls Own Panzer was by far the worst.
Really?
What is Girls und Panzer about?
It says it in the name.
Some people don't know German.
Girls and tanks. Girls and Panzer tanks. That's it. It never gets more interesting than that.
It's honestly a novel concept. That's how this was on my list for a couple years now, and this is the first series the three of us have all not watched. And I was excited to watch this. It has a 7.89 rating on Mal, which really doesn't mean anything, but it's a shot in the dark, right? It's better to have a high rating than not. And this was an experience.
Yeah. I can't follow up with Rob's record of cuteness, but I will say that the only other cute girl show I've watched was Madoka Magica, which was really more like deconstructionist. But
That's a cute girls doing fucked up things.
it takes the concept
That doesn't
of
start
like a
with a C.
magical girl and like just dissects it, but that was not joyful. This one was really weird. I was kind of nervous at first because I'm not a fan of the kawaii stuff, but I gotta say
Mo.
I was
It's called Mo.
Mo.
Get your shit together,
All
Ryan.
right, Mo. But I enjoyed the battles with the tanks. I thought the strategy was actually pretty interesting at times.
So for people who haven't heard of this show before, you have 5 girls going to school on a giant boat, and they engage in a sport called tankery, where you fight
Senshodo.
other schools. Say that again.
Wasn't it called Senshodo?
Senshodo, where they engage with other schools that may or may not also be on boats, and no one gets hurt, but they are using World War II tanks to shoot at each other using real missiles and tank fire, and they fight in cute schoolgirl uniforms.
No. That you see, that's the first thing you said that was a lie. The uniforms are awful.
Oh, okay, so they
They're
fight
so
in
uninspired.
little miniskirt things that are just like from textbook moe anime. It's the concept is honestly what got me in. That said, maybe this is worth a watch, but there's just so many problems. And honestly, I think we just go straight into spoilers. Ryan, do you have anything you want to say before we just jump into spoilers?
I mean, it's only 12
because
episodes.
it's only 12 episodes. I think the characters, there's not a whole lot to spoil about them. So I think we could just get into it.
Yeah.
And if,
Yeah.
if the listeners don't already realize, we're not recommend. Me and Rob are not recommending. Maybe Ryan. Maybe we'll give you a second. Do you want to say your
I
piece?
would recommend it if you're into that. If you're into cute girls, then this.
No. Because I am into cute girls doing cute things, and this was awful.
But they weren't doing cute things technically. They were doing strategic tank battles, which I was surprised. I didn't. Thank God, cute girls in an anime makes the budget like 10 times more because the animation quality of this is the only thing that kept me going.
What are you talking about, Ryan? Okay. This is where I'll give you some credit. The tanks, the 3D animation was okay, just the 3D, but the actual animation, the girls look like garbage, and the backgrounds look like garbage.
They were all like
That's
tanks,
character design.
but the moving tanks, I gotta admit, I was actually like surprised.
Okay, that might be one of its few redeeming qualities, I would say.
And but you're right about like maybe it's because I don't watch these types of shows, but the girls, they all sounded the same to me technically. I really can't recall one of their names, but I will say there was some character in terms of like the volleyball girls with their tank. That's the only other like group of girls I could like differentiate.
Oh my god. I feel like you're trolling us right now, Ryan.
I'm trying, guys.
I think he just legitimately liked it.
No, you know what? That's fair.
I did. I got a kick out of when I think it was like in the 4th episode that one girl actually like went to the other school and was undercover and had like.
That was okay.
And then at the when they visit that girl's house and they see her picture, she's like, "I've always loved tanks," and they're like, "Is that you with the bob cut?" I don't know. That cracked me up, but that was really the only thing outside the tank battles that I enjoyed.
Let's go through characters really quick. So we have main girl. I honestly don't even remember her name.
Was it
Do
Miho?
you, either of you? Yeah, Miho. That's right. Okay. Miho. She's cute girl leader. Comes from a long line of tankery masters, which is a thing, and she just has PTSD. That's essentially it.
Yes, that is her entire character arc, is getting over her PTSD.
Do you know what her PTSD reminds me of?
What?
It reminded me of the Naruto when they first meet Kakashi, and he tells them that if you don't save your friends, you're worse than trash. Do you remember that speech?
Yeah, but the difference is that Kakashi is awesome and inspiring, and Miho is a bitch.
No, Miho's mom would be the Kakashi, except this case, Miho's mom was saying, you suck because you went to go save your friends.
Oh, that's right. Miho's mom is a piece
should
of
have won
work.
the battle for us.
By the way, that whole PTSD scene though was like, okay, so they have a whole class and sports championship dedicated to the sport of tanking on these big boats and on all these different geographical landscapes. And when a tank falls in the water, like, you would think that because they have enough money to have all these tanks that girls can fire at each other with, there's no safety team. I mean, to be fair, there was one round where they were literally in the town, and the townspeople were like in bleachers. Like, fatalities were possible.
There was a couple problems with the realism and like the safety issues in terms of getting these fucking like ballistic missiles fired at each other, and then the girls are just like, "Oh, I'm fine, no bleeding." The tank flips over 180 degrees.
Oh.
And they're like, "We're fine, just go on without us. Go to school the next day."
Oh, by the way,
not wearing any armor, no helmets, nothing.
Our school did have a tankery class, but then it mysteriously shut down, and you actually have to look around the school grounds, and you could probably find the tanks. I was like, what?
Real casual, they throw that on us.
And it wasn't even fun.
Don't worry. No.
It was not even a fun time. It could be cute girls looking for tanks in a cute way, and it was just like this boring, terrible montage.
They just... my biggest problem is the character designs. You cannot have a cute girls doing cute things anime with this awful of character designs.
Okay, let's keep going.
So bland.
Well, then, but Rob, they were able to customize their tanks and make them fucking bright pink.
Excellent for camouflage.
Well, actually, I will say they did. One of them painted it red, or like,
One of them reminded me of communist China.
yeah, the red one. But that one, like, had parked in a nice spot when they were doing one round in the town, and it was just spotted parked in that alley. And when the enemy tank came, they just blasted it. They actually camouflaged there, but that you guys didn't like.
I did not. I did not think that deeply into it, Ryan.
I mean, you get it's a sporting event. You have two teams of tanks. I thought the strategy was semi-interesting for some of it. I'm not gonna lie. You guys
It
Let's
could
talk
have
about-
been.
I
It
think
really
it
could have been.
better.
It just had such a bland setting and bland characters.
Let's get back on the characters, then we'll jump to strategy after. So we have 5 main girls. We got PTSD, Miho. Does anyone remember Flower Arranger Girl?
Is she the one that has
There's
the butler? That's like all of the
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her mom also hated her. I feel like there was a common theme with these kids where their mothers just hated them and that they were colossal disappointments to their family.
No. But when she actually when she experienced tankery and became a master of it, then her flower designs will truly blow people's minds.
Sinsodol. Was that what it was called?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think it was called tanking.
Tankery.
They tried to push in these like deep and drama-filled plot lines every other episode, and they just fall so flat. Like this girl, her mom disowns her because she does tankery instead of flower arranging class. Also, what kind of fucking military destroyer boat school offers flower arranging and tankery at the same
Did
time?
you guys get like any post-apocalyptic vibes? If the world
Any what?
like
Any what?
post-apocalyptic vibes? Because like if all these schools and towns are on boats, like what the fuck happened? Why aren't they on here?
There's one instance where I thought this could go somewhere, and the first 20 minutes of the first episode was miserable.
Yeah.
And I told you guys it gets better just to make you guys watch it because I thought you guys might abandon me. But the very end of episode 1, when they zoom out and they show that the entire school's on a boat, I thought they were going to show you some fucked up history of the world,
Right.
and how like all the men in the world got killed, and now these women now have to defend the world, and they practice tanking as like training for the real battle. I thought it was going to go deep and dark, and then there was no point in the boat. They never explained the boat or the towns, and there's men everywhere on the towns. Why is this an all-girl school? Why are they on a boat?
It's
Why are they
literally
running tanks?
just them on a boat driving tanks, and there's no more to it than that.
For the sake of it.
Yeah, there's just nothing to it.
I know
Like,
this was on your list, but like how much of a narrative? I literally did always see this as a show that was marketing cute girls in tanks.
I thought that as well, but then I was so disappointed by the lack of cuteness, I thought that they would deviate from it and add some sort of interesting plot line once they showed the boat. So I wasn't
Exactly.
expecting that. But I
Exactly.
gave it hope at the end of episode 1, but then they never address it.
I guess I went into it with a really good mindset where I did not expect any cuteness or anything besides some cool tank battles.
Okay, back to characters then. So we got 2 out of the 5. Third one is the boy crazy orange hair one who just wants to get the dick.
And she actually got the dick.
then there's the sleepy one.
She's my favorite. I'm a Mako fan.
Oh, Mako. And then she's the one
And
that
then there's
with her
the
grandmother, right?
ugly one.
Who's the 4th? Who's the 5th one?
The ugly one.
Which one's the ugly one?
tank
Oh, no.
obsessed one.
Oh, the tank obsessed one. Not best girl for you then, Rob.
There is no best girl. They're all terrible.
If you had to pick a best girl out of this, who do you pick?
Probably flower arrangement girl.
What is her redeeming quality for you?
She arranges flowers.
That is about her only character quirk.
None of them have any personalities further than whatever their secondary trait is.
Whoa. I have to say my best girl is the bob cut one. With tanks. She was the one that actually went out of the way to like do a recon. So I think her character Her character's up there for me.
Okay, so Ryan likes the ugly one. Justin, who do you like?
Mako, the one who's always tired and late to class and morbidly depressed. I just have a really good vibe with her.
Well, yeah, that resonates with your personality.
Yeah, I have a couple of quotes from her, and they are, "Why does morning come and life is so painful?"
Okay, that's pretty relatable.
Yeah. I was surprised that you didn't choose her.
I mean, I guess I enjoyed her most because she spoke the least, which was in a series like this, which was a good thing.
Who, the Flower Ranger girl or Mako?
No, Mako or Mako. I'm gonna go with Mako, like Mako Tsunami from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was going with Mako, like from Legend of Korra, but it can go either way, I guess.
I like Mako better.
Fair enough. Is there any other characters in this entire show that are worthwhile? I have one.
I was thrown off by the leader of the student council, the short girl. You know, she seemed like kind of devious, but like also willing to help the main character. And then she always had like a weird, like, she enjoyed the punishments they had if they lost, or she kept some kind of secret for a little while, and she was like a red herring, you know?
She was a dominatrix.
Yeah. I think this is also another trope. Like, I haven't seen that many cute girls doing cute things shows, but Toradora has like an iconic character that's just like that. She's like this little chibi that carries around like a kendo sword and beats people up.
I mean, from my experience with cute girls doing cute things anime, there's not like an evil student council leader in every single series I've watched.
I wouldn't say she was evil. She just was portrayed as like she definitely knew something that was integral to the plot, the PTSD girl, and she kind of, I don't know, she just had this like presence of, no, you gotta win the tankery competition, and then of course if they don't win for some reason, their school, that I guess what happens when their school gets defunded, their school shuts down. I don't know how that tied to the tank competition, but
there's a huge fucking problem with that though, because you don't give a shit about the girls, so you don't give a shit about the school. That's the first thing. So they reveal that plotline, episode 8? Like, if we don't win the tournament, our school gets defunded. Okay, fine, whatever. No one cares. The second problem is, they go to school on a fucking boat. Why don't they all just transfer to the same fucking next school together and go to the next boat school? It's not like it's regional.
Yeah. And what is the implication if their school gets shut down? They get kicked off the boat? They have to go back to mainland? I mean,
they go back to mainland, or they enroll in a new boat school? Who gives a shit?
Why do any of them care about that school that much? All of them hated it prior to doing the tankery, which they were all forced into doing.
There's no development of the school, of the girls, of the purpose of this.
Because there is no purpose.
What I did think was interesting was how they kind of... So all the tank knowledge, though, was real.
I did appreciate that. Yeah. But, sorry, go ahead,
But
Ryan.
also, like, do you remember when they were fighting against the generic Russian girls' school? And she had this like one remark where she's like, she quoted an American president saying, "Our country has everything," and then a foreign reporter asked, "Even a hotline from hell," or something like that. I don't know. They were like some like weird historical references. I was like, "Is this real?" I couldn't really find out if it was true, but I wish they kind of took more of the world politics and actually integrated it into the show, along with a narrative that was more compelling.
I appreciated the research of the tanks, but here's another big problem, is that they didn't assign any character to any of the individual tanks, and none of the girls bonded with any of the tanks, which sounds weird to say, but like when you're watching Gundam, right? You associate a character to a tank, right? And the tank is a certain color or has a certain characteristic that makes it memorable. Same thing in like Zoids or any other robot-related show that gives that particular robot character aligning back to the pilot. It does nothing of that, even though you have such good knowledge sprinkled throughout. The only tank that I remember that had any characteristics was the giant tank that was unbeatable in episode 11. Yeah, the mouse, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, they could have done more to add some sort of distinct characteristic to each of them.
That's a great point with the personalized tanks, because when I saw them all in their fleet, they already looked all the same too. So I was like, I really don't care. I mean, sure, some of them painted it or added decals, but I will say the only reason why the volleyball girls stuck out is because there's like one moment when they were reloading like the long barrel of their tank, and they kind of played with it like a spike or a volleyball. They did something like with the teamwork spike or something, and I was like, oh, that's the volleyball girls, and that's it.
They didn't show any special abilities really though, or if they did, I don't really remember. They could have been like, this is a fast lightweight tank. This one has a certain machine gun. I don't know. It was a missed opportunity on all of these fronts.
They could have reinforced some of those more. That when I did not even bother to be like, wait, which group of girls are they talking about that they're going to use as the decoy? You really gotta have a pre-knowledge of World War II tanks, or just really, really, really like really cute girls, I guess. I don't know.
Robert, you've been quiet for the past 8 minutes. What do you got for me?
I can't sit here and analyze it because it's just so bad.
Tell me more of why it's bad. Give me some.
It doesn't do either of the things that it wants to do right. It wants to be a tank anime, which is great, but then the tanks themselves aren't that interesting, like you're saying. But then it wants to be a cute girls doing cute things anime so that it can be a tank anime, but none of them are cute, well-designed, or likable. It doesn't hit on any notes. It just fails for me so hard, and it was so disappointing. And every episode was a slog to get through. I just sat there waiting for it to be over. And, like, just half paying attention, zoning out. I've never watched a 12-episode series and not remembered a single character's name.
I would be willing... you got Miho, so there you go. But I would be willing to argue that this is the... What's that?
That's half her name.
Oh, I think it's a nickname also, actually.
Could have fooled me.
This is arguably the worst anime I've seen in completion.
I don't know.
It's up there. At least.
I don't know if I can say it's one of the worst, but I have to say that I knew it. I guess I knew what I was expecting, and the tank battles they had their moments. I'm not gonna lie.
Sell me on some of the tank battles, Ryan. Convince me that I experienced something better. I have a couple of instances that I remember that were good that I'll bring up.
I did like when they brought it to the town, and it's the first time you see that girl Miho actually use her strategies in surprising some of the larger tanks of the first school they faced, I guess. I like.
Oh, with T-Girl? I like T-Girl.
Yeah, thank you. And then I liked the one battle in the woods where they had their scouting tank all of a sudden, like, accidentally stumble upon the leader of the enemy's team, and they just have this, like, long standoff, like, meanwhile, like, their main forces were all somewhere else. There were some really good tense moments, and for the most part, strategy was used. It wasn't a bullshit win.
There were a couple of instances where I would agree with you. I think that the spying part in the second battle was sort of interesting. I thought part of the city battle was a little interesting. I liked the last one where they had to fight off against the mouse and they get this baby tank underneath him and then they drop the tank on top. I thought that was probably the best instance in terms of battle for me. But there's a couple of things that really just drove it way into the ground. So number one being there is no tense music when any of this is playing. They have this kind of cute American diddle, like anthem going around.
Wait. The word is not diddle, it's ditty.
Ditty.
Diddle
is something else. Diddle is something else. English is my second language.
You did not want diddle going on during these tank battles. You wanted...
I wouldn't mind a little diddling during these tank battles.
God forbid you say Yankee. God forbid you say Yankee Doodle Diddle in front of Robert DeLucia.
That was Yankee Diddle Dandy.
Do you know who uses the word diddle the most out of everyone I know?
I do not.
It is you, Rob. That is why I know the word diddle. Anyway, so you have this little ditty going on, and it's not tense or exciting, and even during the climax of the fight, it doesn't ramp up at all. I'm not sure if either of you guys noticed that.
I did. I actually kind of like the lack of music. I'm sorry, Rob. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that the little diddle was the one thing that I did like. I love that little like cute diddle.
Is it on your running mix?
No, it's never going to make it onto my running set list.
It's not next to what's the Yu-Gi-Oh song? No matter what.
No matter what, that's the one that gets me.
Jesus.
I think the music was okay, the little ditty, but it was not at the appropriate time, especially like maybe in the beginning when they start rolling out of the boat or something. But when it's getting to the exciting final climax of the fight and that's playing, there's no tension.
I kind of that's a very good point. There's never any tension.
I think the lack of music actually made it more tense. I'm not sure.
I think but there was music though. I'm saying they were playing that little thing the entire time, and if they took it away, maybe that'd be like you said, Rob. They have trouble deciding if they want to be cute or if they want to be a tank show, and they're trying to make these tank fights intense, but then they play this background music, so it's like a huge dichotomy.
Yes, and I think that's maybe what they were going for, was that juxtaposition. But in this essence, it didn't work because it didn't do either of the things it was trying to do well enough. So you're trying to be that cute girl, you're trying to be this action, battle anime, and you're not doing either of them well enough to warrant having, one or the other.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, a great point. I wish I did more market research just to see, like with Cowboy Bebop, they told the guy, "Listen, we just want a show about a spaceship so that we can, sell that." I want to see what their original intention was with this in terms of either just selling tank models or something, because it does feel like it has potential, J-Wing, as you said, but then, it suffers through an identity crisis.
My guess is that they pitched that they wanted to do a tank battle series, and then the producers were like, no, that's not going to make us any money. And they said, wait, what if it was all cute girls driving the tanks? And then the producer said, fund it.
Bitch, I'm in.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it went.
That's honestly what I was expecting the entire time. I might have seen like a clip from this show once on Reddit, and I was like, this is clearly for a certain audience. But my expectations were never for cute. I'm just happy the tank battles were satisfactory on my end.
Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
No, I can't believe the takeaway is I enjoyed the tank battles. Like, you went into this series about supposedly cute girls driving tanks, and you're satisfied with tank battles.
Oh yeah, no, I really do not care about the girl.
He liked half of it.
Yeah,
we got to introduce Ryan to some actual good cute girls doing cute things anime.
Because there's so many good ones.
We can discuss this later. but no, I was happy. Like, it wasn't all about. God forbid, this was a show with mostly slice of life. At least there was a good half mix of their school lives, and then you did get a lot of time on the battlefield.
Slice of life is exactly what Rob was looking for.
Oh.
You wanted something cozy?
Yeah. I was looking for tank battles as a way to,
make that
enhance the cuteness, enhance the camaraderie and the friendship. But it was never rewarding enough where it did that.
It made me both the cuteness and the tank way, it made me want a different anime. Like when I saw the girls, I was like, man, I'd rather be watching K-On! Right now. And when I saw the tanks, I said I'd rather be watching something like Full Metal Panic, which is like another military anime that I really enjoy. So I just felt lacking in both departments.
I will say too, I was thrown off by how easily the main group formed. You know what I mean? They all of a sudden decided to sit next to her at lunch, and she's like, oh, a friend. Okay, we're friends now.
Yeah, that was another problem I had, is when that first happened, I thought they were just like fucking with her and were gonna like bully the shit out of her. And I was like, oh, okay, good, she deserves this right now.
This is personal experiences, Rob. Not everyone's so cruel.
Maybe the show just it didn't meet any of my expectations.
Those girls like loved each other from like episode 2 and onwards. It made no sense. There's no development into that relationship.
I did not. That was the one thing that really shocked me. I was like, "Oh, is this how it goes down?" They all you just kind of forget about how they began, and you see their adventure to a closer friendship. Nah, they all knew what to do right off the bat, pretty much.
Yeah, and like that's it's unfortunate that it's sending that message to kids that it's that easy to make friends because it fucking isn't.
I think we made friends like that, Rob. 21 years ago.
Let me let you in on a little secret.
Oh, no.
Not only do you not make friends that easily, but the friends you do make, no, not worth it.
One more,
they make you watch shitty animes about girls driving tanks. What kind of friends are those?
I didn't make you do anything. You agreed to this.
I was misled.
You misled yourself.
I was made to think this was going to be something good.
It was also
you brought this upon yourself.
Imbalance, real quick, where during the tank battles they did have like little details, like when if one of them was like firing the turret and it shook, you would actually see them like take their hands off and be like, that actually like it kind of rattled their hand.
You know what the problem there is, though, Ryan? It shook them, but they're wearing mini skirts.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Their uniforms were just totally. They had these problems, but their uniforms were not helping them. So I was like, well, I like that realistic detail, but you didn't really do anything else about it.
There's one more tank battle thing I want to throw in here, and you were talking about the strategy component earlier, Ryan. I think Miho does the strategy part okay sometimes, but there's one battle, I think it's against the Russians, where they're going up against like 15 tanks with their 5 or 6 tanks, and she comes up with this strategy, thinking about it overnight, and it's kind of stressing her out. Then all the other girls say, no, let's just go straight in and fight them. And she's like, you guys are right, let's just do that.
That also, by the way, going back to the comment about the uniforms, they're in the freaking snow, and they were all like
wearing miniskirts still.
Yeah, that Russian battle was weird. I'm not gonna lie.
They changed into long sleeves though, in their defense.
It's I don't that Russian one did seem very drawn out.
That one was rough.
Yeah, but besides, I'm happy the end one was cool. Not gonna lie, with her, wasn't she against her sister in the tank, and they were doing the one-on-one?
That was her sister. I wish they gave her sister more development. Besides the fact that she's like, you've dishonored our family. But besides that, she has no personality.
None of them did to me.
What? That was everyone's personality. Was you dishonored our family?
Well, her entire... Oh, shit, you're right. It's not just her family. It's everybody's family.
Every secondary character was...
Ugly Girl had good parents.
Ugly Girl was good with her parents because her dad was a barber and she had the bob cut.
Keep bringing back that bob cut.
Or if it was a perm... is that a perm press? I think that was the hairstyle. And she's like, yeah, nobody wanted to be my friend because I like tanks. I don't think it was...
I think it might have been the perm.
Just a low-key low blow to her. I like that. But she didn't dishonor her family. Her family really didn't care, to be honest.
Her family had such low expectations of her. They were just happy that she had other friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they expected when they gave her that perm.
Ryan, in the final battle, one more thing that I wasn't super pleased about was the way that it ended. She had no particular strategy, or there was no build-up to it. It was just she made a really tight left turn and shot her sister, and that's how she won. You know what?
Yeah, once you brought up the whole no undeveloped sister character, yeah, that don't get me wrong. I did like the action, whatever.
The action was stronger in the last 2 episodes.
But that strategy was weak, and at the end of the day, I watched it, and then I was like, I'm kind of hungry because there was no risk for me to be like, oh my god, if she loses and her sister, like their dynamic, it didn't matter to me. Yeah, great point with the undeveloped sister antagonist character.
I think we've beaten this to death as much as possible. Is there anything else to talk about here?
I will say one closing thought, and I think what really did it in for me was just the lack of feeling of stakes. I never ever felt there were any stakes, even when they put it, up to we're going to lose the school if we don't win. I still never felt that stakes. I still never cared to jump on board and say, "Oh man, okay, we got a reason for doing this." It never existed, and no matter how hard it tried, I never cared.
Yeah. Maybe the producers kind of banked on that. They were banking on the audience that didn't need to be filled with stakes because girls in tanks.
But like we said earlier, not funny enough, not cute enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It needs to be cute if it's going to have, a terrible plot. It needs to be fun or quirky if I'm not going to really care about what's happening. But it didn't do any of that.
Yeah, I watched this show. I completed this show a couple weeks ago, and the
this
characters.
Is a slow drag for you, Rob, right? Ryan, you finished it in what, like a week or two?
I finished it when I pretty much caught up to your pace, but after not even a week, I was like, I can't remember their names for shit.
Rob, it took you 3 weeks for 12 episodes?
It took me maybe a little more than 3 weeks, yeah. And after it took me, honestly, I'm not even kidding, it took me about 2 or 3 days to get through the first episode.
Ouch.
Where I just kept stopping because I could not get into it.
So Rob, you really didn't even like the tanks, or just because there was a lack of risk or stakes that the battles were meaningless from the get-go?
Yeah, for me personally, in a series like this, I will say that the tank combat was interesting, but when you're not having anything else going on around it, it won't grip.
Yeah, it was fluffy. Okay.
Yeah.
Last thought. What are your thoughts on the opening of Dream Riser?
I skip the opening each time.
I forgot the opening.
There you go. I thought it was okay.
Oh, God.
Each time. Without fail, I skipped it.
I think I don't even know if that's something about the song, or if you just wanted to get through that 22 minutes of hell as quickly as possible.
It was just trying to push through as fast as possible.
All I'll say is, it's no Kimi no Se.
Oh my god, nothing is any Kimi no Se.
Rich is here, guys, by the way.
Okay.
So, just one second.
We're building suspense for the final rankings.
Man, I really hated this series.
Do we wanna do Ryan's potentially good rating first, or our horrible ratings first?
I'm wondering what you are gonna give it.
You want me to go first?
Well,
I'm happy to go first.
I'm very curious to see what you give it.
I'm kind of curious to see where you're gonna go.
I think Ryan.
Honestly, I'm most curious for Ryan.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely most curious for Ryan, but
does he break through the C+ threshold?
I'm most curious to see how low you or I go.
It's like a game of chicken.
It is.
The Price is Right. I think you hated this more than me, but I really dislike this. Can you, off the top of your head, can you name a single show that you dislike more than this?
I actually went through my mail to look at shows I watched to completion, and this was the worst.
I looked at shows that I didn't even finish, and this was my worst.
No, there's... let me look at my dropped. Or on hold.
Oh, I didn't look at dropped. I just looked at... let me see.
No, honestly, this might be the worst thing I've watched, yeah. I'm looking through it now.
It's definitely the worst thing I've finished, to my knowledge. I mean, it's just abysmal. How did they... Who created this and thought this was a good idea?
Oh, man, it was rough. It was just so boring.
I wonder how that talk in the production room came up. It was okay, guys, girls in tanks. And then they think, this is a novel idea. And then it just becomes the most generic piece of shit.
The biggest issue for me was the character designs. And nothing about them, gripped me.
Yeah, none of them have any particular traits.
Like, even Kaon, your main character isn't really that uniquely designed, but
Hey,
they still
don't
made her...
talk shit about my girls.
No. I love Kaon, but, like, I'm saying, even though they had, like, their school uniforms and kind of basic designs, they still were well designed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right,
and that wasn't the case here.
Man, I gave some of these shows a pretty rough rating, but I still feel like they weren't as bad as this.
What did you end up giving this?
I didn't. All right, so Ryan gave this an 8 on Mal. I saw him put it on here when I was updating my list, and I lost my shit. But he said he said it was he was leading me on. He thought I would see it, but I don't know if that's a lie or not. I think it's a legitimate. It's a legitimate 8 from him. I'm gonna guess. I didn't give it a rating because I know I didn't want you guys to see it before we did this.
Yeah.
You know what one of my lowest things on here is? Kuroko no Basket.
Really? It's not that bad.
I didn't get that far into it.
So sorry, guys. Just got the PS4 back.
No problem.
But
all right,
yeah,
guys, we're going straight into rankings unless you have any final words.
Is next week the movie?
No, fuck off.
Oh my god, I'm not watching the movie.
Well, when we make a Patreon, that will be one of our reward tiers. If we make it to, I don't know, $100 a month, then we'll watch the Girls in the Panzer movie.
So
I don't know how much money you'd have to pay me to watch this movie.
Would you do it for $100 a month?
Would you do it?
We're in a recession, Rob.
Oh yeah, you know what? I might.
You got to take
Would
it.
you do it for a Klondike bar?
Okay, now I would do it. Yes.
All right, Rob, you want me to start off with my final rankings?
Yeah. Lead us up, Justin.
All right. So, I swear to God, I think I must have been taking crazy pills, or someone was taking crazy pills when I saw the ratings of this on Mal. It's 7.89, like I said earlier. But if you even go in there, you have people writing 9-paragraph essays defending it, giving it an 8 to 10 rating. It's insanity.
What's the target audience?
I don't know who the target audience is, though. So when I was giving this my final ranking, this made me contemplate what rankings even mean, because I never even thought about what below C means, like D, E, F, and I really had to figure out what each of these mean. I don't know if you guys had that same crisis. So for me, C is sort of like our average baseline, right? Like watchable, good enough, not great. D became below average. E became like has maybe 1 or 2 redeeming factors. And then F just means it shouldn't exist. Like, not even for anybody. And my final ranking ended up being an E. Because I think that this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I guess the only redeeming factors being maybe I laughed a couple times, or that final tank battle was a little bit interesting and the 3D animation was okay. But it just fails to execute on so many levels. And I'm curious, this made me curious to see what could be worse than this to feel right in giving something an F. So that's where I'm at with this.
You sure it wasn't the main intro?
No. The intro was like a C minus. Like the intro was just very generic anime. I didn't give a shit. It was okay. It was fine. But the rest of the series, I'd rather use my time elsewhere. That's how I felt about this. Rob, do you want to go next? Because I'm curious to see if you beat me in the low rankings.
I'll go next. Yes.
And then we'll get to hear Ryan's ranking because that's the prize at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know how I feel about cute girls doing cute things. I am very, very passionate about cute girls doing cute things. This lacked the charm of K-On! It lacked the heart of A Place Further Than the Universe. It lacked the style of Little Witch Academia. It lacked the humor of Squid Girl. It did absolutely nothing. And I want to give it that F. I do. But I'll give it the F plus. Because I'm saving that. I'm saving a fat F minus for something which inevitably will come along.
Hold on, wait. Is there such thing as an F plus and an F? I thought once you get below D, you're at F. F is just hell. There's equal hell for everybody.
Oh no! I have Fs and F minuses planned for the future.
Okay.
This
Have
is.
you seen these F pluses, Fs and F minuses, or you're just expecting to?
I'm expecting to. I'm expecting
Okay.
things to get worse than this. If we ever have to watch the movie, that's going to be probably my first F minus.
That's sort of how I felt also, Rob. Like this was a drag and it was really bad, but it wasn't like stab my eyes out bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really bad. Don't get me wrong.
When
But
all
it doesn't
said and
feel
done,
like the
it's not going to be the worst thing I've ever watched in my life.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I think that's what stopped it from being a complete F for me.
Right, and that's why I didn't give it an F or F minus.
So you win the chicken war of who will go lower. So
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, Rob.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ryan, you are the star of the show today.
Where to begin? This is a new genre to me. I can't wait for you guys to open my eyes more, so then I can truly understand how shitty this was. But I went into it. The discussion also helped realizing the many, many, many plot holes and narrative faults.
I guess you want to give us a final ranking and then also like a pre me and Rob just hating on it completely ranking? Like, or where you were before and where you are now?
It wasn't much different. I'll go with C. I got to give it a C because I think that this may be a surprise for some. Others, a bad surprise, like Rob. But I got to say that half the show was... I did watch the tank battles. I thought they kept me entertained. Yeah, the slice of life was very sluggish, and everything we talked about before. But I'm going to stick with a solid C.
Okay.
Okay. I respect your right to an opinion, no matter how fucking bad it might be.
I don't respect your opinion, but I respect your right to have an opinion.
I got to balance it out, boys.
Actually, Ryan?
No, to be completely serious, it is a C for me.
Oh, no. Okay, fair. Totally fair.
Well, no, Ryan, have you watched something worse than this to completion?
To completion? Yes, I have.
Yes.
Or
I have.
Even not to completion, like 5 episodes or something that gives you a good enough feel. Like, I'm just curious to see what's worse than this for you. Because I think you're generous.
Me? Well, no. I wasn't a fan of... I slogged through Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann. I really didn't think Code...
Whoa.
Those are worse than this.
I'm not saying they're worse.
Are you
I'm
saying...
just saying I slogged through them. Like, they would be in my C range. And I also have to say that...
Gurren Lagann's in your C range?
There was one that...
Oh my god.
One anime that was on Netflix, like, when I first started getting into anime, called Speed Grapher, and I just could not honestly finish it. It was so... I don't even know.
Wait. I don't give a shit about that. You're saying that Gurren Lagann is on the same ranking scale as Girls in Panzer.
Okay, when you put it like that, no. It was not as bad, but I mean, I kind of felt the same sluggishness. I wasn't very... I mean, of course Gurren Lagann was better, but I mean, it's not really too memorable for me.
Brian, were you... Are you okay, Rob?
No, I'm not. I can't do this anymore.
Ryan, did you get excited to watch each episode of this? Just genuinely curious.
Well, so I shouldn't have brought up Gurren Lagann because that was like one of the first ones I watched. But this one, it might have just been like the animation, and I've never really seen a tank battle. I was like, this is somewhat new. Because I've had my fair share of mecha, but maybe we should do a Gurren Lagann episode. Because
I just don't. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
That one was not memorable for me. This one was not memorable for me either. Kill la Kill, Speed Grapher. There's a list. Some surprises. Sorry, guys.
You should be.
I'm honestly a bit speechless right now. I don't know how to
Justin,
close this out.
Just please send me home. I can't do this anymore.
Boys, we're out.